guys, it's Sarah X. Welcome back to my channel. Excuse the setup today. Basically, the movers are coming to take all my stuff today, like my boxes, and my place is a complete mess. I'm about to move out next week, so that is why this setup looks the way it is. I have a guitar here to try to make it look artsy. I also have a ukulele, but I don't know where to put it, so just know that that's there. But today I thought it would be interesting to talk a little bit about how I navigate moving to a new city where I don't know anyone, like my whole process, because that is what I'm doing for my next move to San Diego. It's what I've done in the past with my move to New York City from Chicago. With Chicago, I lived with like work people and I knew some people there. But New York, I found like roommates. San Diego, I found roommates. So anyways, step one for me is finding roommates. Now, I do not like living by myself. I'm very extroverted. I feed off the energy of other people. So if I were to live by myself, I think I would get lonely, which is why I refuse to live by myself. And then when it comes to roommates, I also don't like living with people I already know, in the sense that I feel like it's less opportunity to meet new people, and so I'm always trying to find new people to live with, because then I can expand my social circle and make new friends. So even if I knew someone in San Diego, I probably wouldn't live with them. So what I did for San Diego is I usually go on Facebook, and there are a lot of groups. You can look up like San Diego like roommates, San Diego apartments. I found one that was specifically San Diego females looking for roommates, and I was like, perfect. It was actually a very active group. And so I went on there. What I kind of do to vet is I look at the posts, I look at their social media. I made my own post to see who would reach out to me, and that was actually super effective. I had a lot of people reach out to me. And so the issue is not really finding people who want to be roommates, is finding the person that you think will be a good roommate and who you'll actually be friends with and who you think you'll vibe with. And so what I do is I go on an insane social media stalking situation where I'll just like go on all their social media, check out their pictures, see what their vibe is. I'm really good at this. I'm really good at seeing and understanding if I will like get along with someone. Like in New York, when I found my roommate Mandisa, shout out Mandisa, like literally 2 looks on the social media and I was like, we're gonna get along. I can even just tell by the way someone smiles if we're gonna get along. Like just from a picture, I'm like, yes, we're gonna get along. Is that weird? Maybe, but in this day and age, you know, it's a good skill to have. So I do the social media thing, we chat. It's also like how they message, the style of messaging, their grammar and usage. I don't know, it's like, it all just kind of like comes together, and you just like, if they remind you of friends you currently have, it's a great sign. So I found 3 girls that way. I was talking to one girl, I was talking to another girl, the first girl had a friend, and we combined into a group of 4, and we made a group chat, and then we FaceTimed, all 4 of us at the same time. And the FaceTime is a really good gauge to see if you'll get along, because it's like you're kind of face to face, even though it's virtually, but like everything's virtual these days. That FaceTime went very well. And so us 4, we started looking for housing. And so step 2 is to find a place to live. Now, I have only done my apartment searches remote. I've never like been in the city where I was looking for housing. Like that doesn't really happen. Since I've never lived in San Diego or like really been there since I was like 1 year old, I don't really know what it's like. And so I kind of trusted some of the, like 2 of the girls knew San Diego pretty well, and they were like, I think we should live in Pacific Beach. And so I was like, okay, then I kind of trust what you're saying, like you have experience. So we started looking in Pacific Beach specifically. I just like to like Google 4-bedroom Pacific Beach. I look on like Zillow, Trulia. My roommates really liked looking on Craigslist, which I'm not as familiar with. I don't really use that, but they looked on Craigslist and found some good options. You can also look in the Facebook pages to see who's posting about places that are available, or like subleases if you're looking for more shorter term. So the problem for us was there was like no 4 bedrooms in Pacific Beach. It was just so hard to find a 4-bedroom within the price range. And so we actually ended up having to split up into 2 groups of 2, which is fine because we're still gonna hang out all the time and we live pretty close to each other, but it was way easier to find 2-person housing. And so something I noticed is that even if you see a listing, there's a good chance there's already like a bunch of applications and you might be like 7th in line, which happened to us a couple times. So what my roommate and I started doing was just like immediately applying when we saw a listing that we liked so that we would be first in line. So that's like a strategy we took, which is kind of annoying because you have to pay the application fee, but it's worth it if you really want to lock down a place that you like and not like wait for the landlords to respond, because sometimes that takes forever. And so that was another big thing. It took like days for some of these landlords to get back to us, and that was frustrating. So then when we finally did find a place that was being newly renovated, the landlord was so responsive, like literally responds to all of our calls, is so quick to text and email. And so that was actually a really big thing we were looking for, and a big reason why we ended up choosing the place that we did. And another thing was, a lot of the Pacific Beach houses are kind of like old school looking, like old beachy house, old beach house vibes. But the place that we got is literally being renovated right now and is super new and modern and responsive landlord, which I will definitely be giving you a tour of our place. But yeah, those are some things that we were looking for, and we ended up finding it. Great price range, great location too. And so we locked that down real quick. Step 3 for me is figuring out how I'm gonna get my stuff from point A to point B. When my old company actually used to like pay movers for us to move our stuff, since it was like a rotational program, and that's super expensive, so I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you actually have a lot of stuff and want to be lazy and don't do anything, because movers will literally come into your place and you don't have to do anything. Just be like, I want that, that's mine, and they'll pack everything up and like wrap everything, move everything, and you kind of just stand there and go, yeah, that. But it's expensive. What I do is I use this service called Bus Freighter. I go to busfreighter.com, and essentially you pack your own boxes, but they kind of put them on the bottom of a Greyhound bus, I think, and they ship it over. And I find this to be cheaper for the most part. I order boxes from uhaul.com, and I'll pack all my own boxes, and that's usually what takes the most time. And then you can either order door-to-door service, which means they'll pick it up from your door and deliver it right to your door in your second place, or you could do station to station, which means you have to drop off the boxes at a Greyhound station and then pick it up from a station. That's kind of annoying, but it's a lot cheaper. Or you could do like door to station, station to door. Sometimes you don't have all the options, but I like to do door to door because I usually have a lot of boxes and they're really heavy and I don't want to have to deal with that. I also don't have a car. And then once you order it, they'll send you the shipping labels, which you have to print out and tape onto your boxes. The day that you pick for them to come pick it up, they'll come during the window, they'll call you, and then the movers will come and take your boxes, and you usually have to tip them a little bit, and then they'll ship it off to your next destination. It takes like, I think 7 days to a couple of weeks, depending on how far you're shipping. Like if I was shipping stuff from New York to Michigan or San Francisco to Michigan, which I've done before, I think it would take a couple weeks. But since I'm shipping stuff from San Francisco to San Diego, I think it's probably gonna take seven days, I would hope. That's why I'm doing it today, because I'm gonna be flying out there in a week, so I'm hoping it'll get there around the same time as me. But you also want to make sure you have your essentials in your suitcase. So I have 2 suitcases that I'm going to be taking with me on my flight over, and that's where I'll have like my essentials just in case my boxes do arrive after me. And so step 4 is figuring out how you're going to get to the new destination. So I'm actually flying. I could have driven, but I just decided to fly because I'm shipping all my stuff out anyways, and driving would just be for more like transporting my stuff. And since I've already done that via Greyhound, then I'm just gonna be flying. Also for Bus Freighter, they'll give you a quote on how much they think you're gonna be charged based on like the number of boxes, the size of the boxes, and the weight. But you won't actually, like, they'll have to like weigh your stuff when they actually get your boxes and bring it to the station, and then you'll get your actual charge. So if it's less, you'll get your money back. If it's more, they'll charge you a bit more. So that's kind of how they go about charging you. And then yeah, once you fly over there, you're kind of all set in your new little city. That's kind of my little process for moving to a new city where I don't know anyone. I've done it a couple times now. And yeah, I've never had any issues with Bus Freighter. The only thing is make sure you like tape your boxes really well, because sometimes they get beaten up a little bit more, just because it's probably like, I don't know, it's on the bottom of a bus. I am excited for my move. I am nervous and I always get homesick the first week. But yeah, I just like really I'm like, honestly, so today's Friday and I have today off because our CEO rocks. And so I'm literally just waiting for the bus freighter people to come pick up my stuff so that I can like enjoy my Friday. But anyways, I hope this was helpful, and let me know if you have any more questions about my move and stuff and how I go about it in the comments. And I will make sure to take you along with me to San Diego. I'll give you an empty apartment tour and a full apartment tour when I'm done. I'll vlog my life there. This is like one of my last videos in San Francisco. It's so weird. It's weird. But I'm gonna have a blast this weekend, my last weekend in the city. You'll see it in a vlog, I'm sure. And I will talk to you guys in the next video.